Okay, let's start with a big one. Who are you, really? I mean, it's a question that thinkers have wrestled with forever, right? But what if the answer isn't, hiding on some mountaintop after years of meditation? What if it's not even found by looking deep inside yourself? Today, we're diving into a pretty wild idea, that to truly know who you are, all you have to do is open your eyes and just look at the life you've created around you.
So why is that so incredibly hard? I mean, why does life so often feel like just a bunch of random, confusing stuff happening? You know the feeling. We stumble, we get frustrated, we feel like we're just bouncing from one thing to the next, reacting to things happening to us. But what if there's actually a pattern in all that chaos, a kind of hidden logic that we just haven't been able to see yet?
All right, so where does an idea like this even come from? Well, believe it or not, the starting point is a pretty unlikely place, a small bed and breakfast up in British Columbia, Canada. The author of the text we're looking at, he ran this B&B for about 3 years. And while he was there, he started noticing this really strange but consistent pattern with his guests, something he just couldn't shake.
So what he saw was this really stark contrast. He noticed that guests who, seemed to be struggling a bit financially often left their rooms a total mess. We're talking towels on the floor, food left over, just a general lack of tidiness. And, in his experience anyway, they also weren't very talkative. But then, on the flip side, he saw that the more well-off guests, they tended to keep their rooms pretty clean, they were friendly, and they just seemed to show a lot more respect for the place.
Now, from these observations, the author made a pretty blunt leap. He basically concluded that the messy guests were working-class manual laborers, and the tidy ones were intellectuals. Okay, let's be clear. That is a huge generalization, right? But it's this specific conclusion he drew that, believe it or not, became the entire foundation for his whole philosophy on how to know yourself.
And this is really the core idea he pulled from that whole B&B experience. It's a simple but pretty profound principle. Your external life is a mirror. And we're not talking about a funhouse mirror, one that distorts everything. We're talking about a perfectly clear mirror, one that reflects your inner self with, total and complete accuracy.
Okay, so here's the absolute heart of what he calls the mirror principle. Basically, nothing in your life is an accident. Not a single thing. Your money situation, your relationships, the stuff you struggle with, all of it, every last bit, is a direct projection of what's going on inside of you. So, according to this way of thinking, if your life feels hard, the problem isn't out there. It's not society, it's not other people. The problem is in here, with you.
So you might be asking, what exactly is this mirror reflecting back at me? Well, according to this idea, it's reflecting everything. It's your upbringing, your level of self-control, what you know, your perspective on things, and really, at the very bottom of it all, your character. Your entire life, the good and the bad, basically becomes this living, breathing portrait of all those qualities inside you.
And this quote right here, it just cuts right to the heart of the whole philosophy. It's all about radical personal responsibility. I mean, it is a complete 180-degree shift in how you see things. Instead of blaming the world for your problems, you're asked to look at your life and say, okay, this is a reflection of me. I'm the source.
Look, I get it. That can sound really harsh. But the goal here isn't about blame, it's actually about empowerment. Because think about it. If you are the source of your reality, well, that also means you have the power to change it. So how do you actually do that? The advice here is to stop wasting your time trying to polish the mirror. Instead, you need to start working on what he calls your inner garden.
And this all builds into a pretty clear 3-step process. First things first, prioritize self-cultivation. That just means focusing on improving yourself, your character, your knowledge, your inner calm. Step 2, and this one is so important, is you have to stop chasing success directly. Don't desperately go after money or status. And that leads to step 3, attract, don't pursue. The whole idea is that when you become an excellent person on the inside, the right people and the right opportunities will just naturally come to you.
And to really hammer this point home, the author uses a metaphor that is, well, it's very direct. It's maybe a little shocking, but it gets the point across perfectly. He says, if you are dog shit, don't be surprised when flies surround you. Become a flower. Butterflies will come. The message couldn't be clearer, right? Stop worrying about all the flies buzzing around in your life and put all of your energy into becoming the flower.
But this whole mirror principle, it doesn't just stop with you and your life. The author actually scales this idea way up, all the way to the global level. And the logic is exactly the same. If one person's life is a mirror of their inner self, then what is our shared world a mirror of?
Yeah, this is where the theory gets really big. According to this worldview, even massive global crises, things like pandemics, floods, all the turmoil we see, they aren't just random events. They're seen as a collective reflection of our inner state as human beings. The argument, in a nutshell, is that we, as a species, have literally brought this world upon ourselves through our collective consciousness.
And so that brings the mirror right back around to you. Look, this is a challenging idea, for sure. It might even be a pretty uncomfortable one to sit with, but at the same time, it's also incredibly empowering. Because if you can accept the basic premise that your reality is a reflection of you, then that means you hold all the power to change it. So the only real question left is, what are you going to do to change the reflection?